advent of the atomic bomb in 1945 marked a revolution in warfare. During the Cold War years of the 1950s and 60s, strategic bombers were the premier weapon in the arsenals of the United States, the Soviet Union, Britain, and France. In the United States, the Boeing B-52 became the backbone of the Strategic Air Command. The B-52 proved to be a remarkably durable design, serving in the Vietnam War with conventional bombs, and still in service today in modernized versions. The Soviet Union's counterpart to the B-52 is the Tu-95 Bear bomber. Like the B-52, it was designed in the late 1940s and early 1950s, and yet remains in service even today. The B-52 and the Tu-95 bombers were originally designed to attack from high in the stratosphere. But in the 1960s, the new Soviet SA-2 anti-aircraft missile shot down the U-2 reconnaissance plane being piloted by Francis Powers on a secret mission over the Soviet Union. This incident made it quite clear that high-altitude bombardment was no longer prudent. Air forces began the development of bombers designed for high-speed, low-altitude missions where they could scoot under the barriers of anti-aircraft missiles. In the United States, the new low-altitude strategic bomber is the Rockwell B-1. In the Soviet Union, the B-1 equivalent is the Tu-160 Blackjack bomber. The Tu-160 first entered service with the Soviet Air Force in 1989.
The B-52, of course, was designed to be a high-level penetrator. Of course, that was changed when a surface-air missile shot down Powers. So they were adapted to a low-level mission. And actually, the B-1 was designed as a pure low-level penetrator. We used some of the stealth technology. As you can notice from a defensive standpoint, the B-52 has a lot of antennas that stick out everywhere. And in the B-1, most of them are integrated into the skin itself, so we have a lower radar cross-section from that standpoint. We're also a lot faster, about half times faster, low level. We have variable wing geometry that the B-52 doesn't have. But the main thing is the low cross-section and the speed.
Due to the new threat of radar-guided missiles, the B-1 was designed to minimize its visibility to enemy radars. Today, this technology is called stealth.
Well, obviously, when stealth was needed to be built into airplanes, the B-1 has several features built into this. The design of the airplane deflects radar energy. Just the very fact that we fly very low and very fast makes it almost impossible to either detect or, once detected, to do anything about it.
The B-1 also incorporates numerous advances in aerospace design over the older B-52, which makes it more suitable for the low-altitude attack role.
B-1B is kind of like flying, like riding in a Cadillac. It's very smooth. It's extremely smooth, even more so than a B-52. In a B-52, which I flew for 3 years, at low altitude and turbulence, you could hear the wings flapping out there, and the aircraft would really be bouncing around and be very tough on you, physically. You had to manhandle the airplane. And a B-1, on the other hand, is extremely smooth. I can't begin to tell you how smooth it is down at low altitude at 400 to 500 feet at 550 knots. You don't have any sensation of speed at all. And the aircraft, it's very easy on you physically, so you're able to concentrate more on getting your weapons delivered without much of a hassle.
The B-1B is more automated than earlier bombers and has a smaller crew. There are 4 crewmen in the B-1B. In the front 2 seats are the 2 pilots who fly the aircraft. Behind them are the offensive systems officer who navigates the aircraft and controls the bombing, and the defensive systems officer who controls the aircraft's electronic defenses. The 3 large bomb bays in the belly of the aircraft can carry 24 nuclear bombs, various types of nuclear missiles, or 82 conventional high-explosive bombs up to 46 tons. The rest of the aircraft is filled with fuel tanks, which gives the B-1B its superb 7,400-mile range. The sleek shape of the B-1B is a remarkable contrast to its predecessor, the B-52 bomber. Flying the B-1B is also very different.
Although the B-1 is a 470,000-pound big bomber, it handles and flies more like a fighter aircraft. The cockpit has sticks in it. The windows are big, large windows. Visibility is excellent.
Unlike some of the other large aircraft, the controls are identical on each side of the aircraft. A B-52, the aircraft commander had very different and distinct duties from the co-pilot. In this plane, it's not really designed that way. It's designed that either pilot can fly the aircraft from either seat. It's again just a mirror image. The duties and the tasks that are associated with flying low-altitude mission at 400 or 500 feet and 500 or 600 knots. One pilot needs to be outside looking and clearing for other obstacles, birds, threats, and the other pilot can monitor the systems inside, make sure that the terrain following system and the engines, things like that, are performing as specified.
Pilots trained to fly the B-1B in a flight simulator which is an identical replica of the real cockpit. Major Larkin explains the flight controls.
This is a B-1B simulated cockpit. First thing you notice when you get into a cockpit of a B-1 is it looks more like a fighter than it does a heavy bomber. We have the airplane has got sticks to fly with. Each position, the co-pilot and pilot have a stick. Each pilot has a set of throttles, and then each pilot has a wing sweep control, so the aircraft is just as easy to fly from the right seat as it is the left seat. The cockpit itself is fairly modern even by today's standards.
The B-1B was designed to scoot under enemy radars at very low altitude. Flying so close to the ground at such high speeds can be risky. But the B-1B has the most sophisticated terrain-following system ever developed for a bomber, which even allows it to fly at night.
There's two options when you're flying low altitude. One, either hand flying it, or two, what the plane was designed to is to ride in an automatic terrain following mode. And that would be our preferred mode. The computers and coupled with the flight control system and the offensive radar can navigate the plane and fly the plane at low altitudes very, very precisely. It gives us an all-weather night capability when we can't look outside and see what's in front of us.
Let's fly a simulated mission with a B-1B to see how these features operate. The crew is on standby alert when the alarm sounds.